If you had told me that I would have gone from a rank of 48,000 in NEET PG 2023 to a rank of 2556 in NEET PG 2024, I would have told you to get out of my room. If you told me that I have to study for NEET along with a job, I would say, भाई मजाक क्यों उड़ा रहा है? अनुज पचेल को जाके बोल ये सब चीजें करने के लिए. If you told me that I would go from 100 correct in my first marrow GT to getting 161 correct in the evening shift of NEET PG 2024, भाई ये मेरे से नहीं होगा. I don't know what dream you're trying to sell me. By the end of this video, you will believe in yourself. You will believe that you can get your dream branch in your dream college if you have the correct strategy. It is possible with 6 hours of study along with a job. If I can crack NEET PG along with a job, so can you. And today I am here to share with you my journey of ups and downs, of emotional roller coaster rides and of severe anxiety. This video is dedicated to all of those Telegram messages, to all of you who I know are struggling with a job, with family expectations, with marriage expectations, with so many uncertainties, with body image issues, competing along with other 2.2 lakh NEET PG aspirants. But let's begin last year when I decided to take up a job as a medical officer at a nearby health center. And that is because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to earn myself and not be a financial burden on my parents. And I know many of you have the same thoughts as me. You are 25, 26, 27. And you want to earn for yourself. You see your other non-medical friends cracking 30 LPA, 40 LPA jobs in Bangalore or Mumbai, and then you see your own bank balance and the anxiety, the frustration that comes, because we all know this medical journey is a marathon, it's not a sprint. But there was a big problem, and you know this problem, because if you go and search for any NEET PG strategy, every topper tells you to study for 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 18 hours, don't sleep. But for many of you with a job, you sometimes question yourself. You have a self-doubt that so many people are sitting at home, taking 1 year drop, 2 year drop, studying for 10 hours a day. And I am here with my hectic duties, with my job, and how can I crack this exam with only 4-5 hours of study a day? No matter how many Dr. Aditya, Dr. Rishabh Jain, Anuj Pachel videos you watch, motivational videos you watch, strategy videos you watch, if your GT score is not improving, I know that feeling. If your GT score is not improving, you feel like you have made zero progress. Anything that you read after knowing that you've done bad in a GT, it really affects you. It doesn't go into your brain, because you're still thinking about that GT score and whether your strategy is correct. The worst part about studying with a job is that you would not hit your daily targets. You have 4-5 hours of study. In that, you have to finish your dinner, your household chores, and so many other things. Maybe you could read only a few topics that day, solve one custom module when there are people solving 3-4 custom modules. They are having 2-3 hours of study sessions and doing so many things. Some people are even studying 2 subjects in a day, whereas you're just stuck on one particular topic. I know, I have been there for so many days. But even among all of this uncertainty, I would study every day. Many a days I would not do much. I would solve a custom module, I would read the explanations, I would solve the GT and identify my mistakes. Small things, baby steps, as Dr. Jaina ma'am says. And that is the key point. When you're in a job, you have to study every day. And that is really the key point. Vowels stick together and your stars will align on the day of the exam to give you your desired rank. You simply have to have this pseudo confidence that on the day of the exam, when the paper is in front of me, with all the mistakes, with everything that I have read, I will do it. So as I was giving GTs in the month of November and December and January, my scores were not improving. It was getting stuck within 400, 450 and never even crossing 500. And this is despite getting a decent rank in INICT. I got a rank of 19,000. So I was expecting myself to improve. But I was reaching that same 130 correct, 120 correct in marrow GTs, and that was happening for a lot of GTs. Suddenly on the 9th of January, we come to know that the NEET PG exam is postponed to June. And I was actually very happy, because along with the job, you don't cover a lot of portion, you don't cover a lot of syllabus. Shift 2 people will remember this girl. I knew the answer to that question because as a part of my medical officer, I had to implement this PSM National Health Programs on the ground level, in slums, going into the places in my own city which I never knew existed, going in gullies, talking to people, being in a community. That was the job that will tell you that you are making progress in the medical profession. So when this postponement happened, I was actually quite happy because I loved my job. The days were not monotonous. We also had to implement the RBSK, the school health program. So I would go to schools, I would meet these amazing kids who would tell me very innocently answers to many of my medical questions. They would always want to play with me. They would see you as an inspirational figure in the society because doctors are really that. And that is what you don't understand. We don't respect our own role in the society. How people view us, how children view us, how so many people view us as inspirational figures. So these many moments in the OPD where the patient would thank me for diagnosing their case, for treating them correctly, for treating them right. These small things that would happen to me in my job would always keep me motivated that I am in the right profession. NEET PG is just the exam and I have the clinical acumen to contribute to this wonderful field. And for all of you with jobs out there struggling in this journey for NEET PG, let me tell you that every single case, every single patient that you see is a progress. Because that general knowledge that you acquire as a medical officer, as a resident medical officer, that will be useful to you in your residency. The salary that you earn at the end of the month is just the cream on the cake. You know, whenever I self-doubted myself, I knew that my girlfriend was just a video call away. She was coming back from her hectic pediatric duties and I needed someone just to talk to help me re-strategize. She taught me how to read first aid. She taught me how to annotate first aid. She taught me how to go about revision, which topics to focus on, which topics to leave, and how to analyze GTs. Please pick up your friend, your partner, or any other online friend that you get on your Telegram groups. Make them your study partner. Discuss with them. I used to discuss so many things with my online friends. I don't know their names, they are anonymous accounts. But we kept in touch with each other for 2-3 months leading up to NEET PG. I still don't know their names, I don't know their results. But these are strangers. They are strangers with a similar story like you. And you should connect with them on Telegram, on so many other platforms. But you know, as they say, there is always someone in this world who is better than you. Just when I was thinking that things are building up, momentum is going, I'm scoring more than 500 in GTs, May INI-CET hits and I get a rank of 19,000, a repeat of my November INI-CET rank. I really didn't take the result to heart because I wasn't targeting INI-CET, I was targeting NEET PG only. I knew I had only 1 month to re-strategize and give my best shot at NEET PG. That is when I decided that I'm going to take a break from my job. And in this last few weeks leading up to NEET PG, I'm going to go full gear and focus my entire energy on NEET PG. Because the crucial 1 month revision, the crucial 10-day revision, that can only be implemented if I'm studying daily 10 to 12 hours. And I would suggest this to every single person who has a job. Like, leave the job 1 month, few weeks prior to NEET PG. Because that revision that you do in the last 10 days, that is going to easily add 20-30 questions to your final score. And that is the point when finally Dr. Aditya's advices on first aid and BTR finally gave me fruits. Because it was in that 1 month when I revised BTR, I revised first aid, when I knew that I had the concepts in my brain. Those were those crucial days where revision played a big role. At the peak of my revision, I got a big shock of my life. DAMS CBT 10th June. A score of 393 on 800. Just 10 days before probably the biggest exam of my life. And such a poor score, I would not get a seat in any government college in my state or anywhere else. And mind you, that damn CBT was the toughest GT I'd ever given. The questions were so complicated, the non-standard images, and it was an exam environment. And definitely that did play a big impact on how I revised in the last 10 days. The most important 10 days. What? NEET is postponed again? Yes, that's exactly what I heard my mom screaming at 10 PM on 22nd of June. I could not believe it. So much of sacrifices, so much of hard work, planning your leaves early so that you can give your entire 100% to this exam. They decided to postpone the exam. What could I do, yaar? It was extremely disappointing, and I am sure it was for everyone, all of the aspirants. I had planned a trek to the Himalayas, camping with my friends. I had planned to meet my friends in other cities. I had planned to go through entire of Goa during the monsoon. And monsoons in Goa are amazing. You should definitely come here in the monsoon if you really want to enjoy Goa. You know, for once we always dream of having an exam stress-free life. That was going to happen, but the exam got postponed and we did not know when it was going to get postponed to. And just like you, I took a break of 3 to 4 days because we were not sure of the dates. I did not know how to even study. I was at the peak of my preparation at that point. And that's when I gave a marrow GT and I scored pretty decently well, 580 marks after revision. I definitely was nearing my goal of 600 marks. Long story short, I gave 2 revisions and after that I traveled to Hyderabad, 650 kilometers, so far from Goa, to give the exam. I sat in front of the computer and at that point, I was not really anxious. I wasn't anxious. You know why? In that chair, I knew that I had given my 100%. From 1 year doing a job and studying, I had given my 100%. I was not anxious, unlike I was in INICET. The person who was sitting me next to the chair, we were talking for 15 minutes before the exam. Because if I were to just stare at the screen, I knew I would have some sort of anxiety. And within 15-20 questions of the second shift, I understood that this is a very high level exam. Like they have really jacked up the difficulty level of this exam, and this is not at all NEET pattern. It looked very much INICET pattern, and I wasn't a person who had prepared that much for INICET. But I always knew one thing, that if an exam is tough, it is difficult for everyone. The questions were so irritating. Long questions, I didn't know what the examiner was trying to ask, and the options were also so equally confusing. Like you would eventually come down to 2 options and you just had to choose like the most appropriate answer, and it was not NEET pattern. You could identify that very early on in the exam that they had totally shifted the exam. But you know what, that damn CBT where I did not score well, it was a very similar exam, close to that. At least the irritating part, the way the questions were framed. And I knew that I had that experience prior. The score did not matter. The damn CBT score did not matter. That experience mattered. When I finally clicked on that submit button, I heaved a sigh of relief. 1 year of PG preparation and answering this exam had finally come to an end. It's not like I was happy, it was more like a sense of relief. I rewarded myself by staying in Hyderabad. I had my cousins there and I ate biryani the entire 3 days I was there. I was going all around Hyderabad, solo tripping, going to many other places, going to nice cafes, and it really felt like I was in heaven. Most important part of the video. What did I learn in this 1 year journey of cracking NEET PG? First thing is to not copy anyone's strategy. Your circumstances are different. Your environment is different. Your expectations from yourself and people's expectations of you are different. You cannot see a Dr. Aditya Gupta's video, my video, or any YouTuber's video, or copy and paste anybody else's strategy into your own life. You can take inspiration from me or from any other YouTuber, but ultimately you have to come up with your own plan. For example, I could never follow studying 2 subjects in a day. It is simply impossible with my time schedule. And also never be afraid to tweak your strategy. If you lost time because of some other family commitments, because of your laziness, or because you're procrastinating, it has happened so many times to me myself, that you can tweak your strategy. You can give extra days for few subjects which are your weak subjects. For example, Dr. Aditya's strategy of 10 days revision did not help me. I required 12 days for revision and 3 days to go through my choti copy. And that is why you should give INICET. Because with INICET, you will learn how to strategize your revision for NEET. Because NEET is about 3 things: concepts, revision, and MCQ solving skills. You have to master all of these 3 things to be successful in this examination. In the initial few months, build your concepts. Fixate on one particular revision tool. It could be BTR, it could be first aid, but annotate that revision source properly with previous year questions and their explanations. My MCQ source were only previous year questions and grant tests and nothing else. I did not do a single QBank module. And that is why you should take ownership of the things that you can control. I could never do the QBanks of different coaching apps. They were too vast, too extensive, and I always knew that solving previous year questions would give me enough practice so that I can go and give a good shot at this exam. And maybe you're different from me, okay? Solving QBanks helps you. Solving QBanks is your way of study. Solving QBanks is your way of how you evaluate yourself. As you know, we medicos, we are good at studies. We are good in taking exams. We've been giving exams our entire life. From weekly 2-3 exams to daily exams, we've kept on giving exams. So exams are part of our lives. Those are the things that we can control. We can control studying for the exam. We can't control postponement, preponement, normalization, all of these things. These are good things to be discussed after the exam on the Telegram groups, but those aren't the things that you can control. And lastly, my big message to all of you is that let things not define you. Let people not define you. Let situations not define you. Let your GT scores not define you. Don't say you're an average student. As it is, there are so many labels put onto you by your friends, your family, by society. So you should actually be your best friend at this point during the preparation and in life in general. Yes, there'll be a lot of mistakes we do on this journey. A lot of times we may cry. A lot of times we may share things with our parents and they may not understand. Or a lot of things when you're lonely. But that is what builds character. That is what will make each and every single one of us successful in our own paths. To help all of you define your true self and to help all of you cross the goal line and help you achieve your dream rank and your dream branch, I've decided to share my strategy exclusively meant for those who are doing their internship or doing their job, because you guys are the ones who actually need a proper systematic plan. So in the next few days, I'll be making shorts, I'll be making YouTube videos to go into the details of my strategy. How to use first aid. Which pages of first aid are important for you? How to use BTR? Which subjects to use BTR for? Which subjects and topics not to use BTR for? How do you use grant tests? How do you analyze grant tests? How to not get affected by grant test scores? How to solve MCQs? How to make custom modules for a particular topic? Which type of questions to be expected in a particular topic? So please, if you found this video relatable, if you found my journey relatable to you, please hit the subscribe button. I will not disappoint you. It's free to do and you can always unsubscribe later. Let me know in the comment section if this story was relatable to you, if I made any sense to you, and what are the videos that you would like to see from me. This is Dr. Anirudh Bhatt signing off from Goa Medical College, and I will see you on my channel in the next video. Bye bye.